What is film theory? Film theory is a scholarly approach targeted to a specific genre of film that provides an understanding of the film's relation to the viewers, reality, and our society as a whole.
What is feminist film theory? Feminist film theory is a form of film criticism derived from feminist politics and the feminist movement. It is viewed by feminists as a misrepresentation of the myths surrounding women and the practice of a woman's femininity and a man's masculinity.
The definition of feminism is a theory of economic, political, and social equality of both sexes, and it's also an organized activity on behalf of the rights and interests of women. There have been many feminist movements throughout time. The most prominent ones would include the early 1900s suffrage movement, the movement in the late 60s, and the ones in the 80s and 90s. Now, post-World War II, that's when feminist film theory starts to develop. Feminist film theory really began during the late 60s, which is considered the second wave of feminism. Its criticism was directed towards a stereotypical misrepresentation of women in classic films, and these stereotypes had a very negative effect on female spectators.
The male gaze. The male gaze is something used very often in a majority of Hollywood films. It is when a male actor gazes upon a female actor in ways of meaning to sexualize the female character. An example of this is in the 2007 film Transformers, directed by Michael Bay.
Whoa, nice headers. You've got a high-rise double-pump carburetor. That's pretty impressive, Sam.
Double pump?
It squirts the fuel in so you can go faster.
Oh. I like to go faster.
And it looks like your distributor cap's a little loose.
Yeah? How'd you know that?
My dad, he was a real grease monkey. He taught me all about this. I could take it all apart, clean it, put it back together.
That's weird. I just wouldn't peg you for mechanical.
Well, you know, I don't really broadcast it. Guys don't like it when you know more about cars than they do. Especially not Trent. He hates it.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with, females working on my engine. I prefer it, actually.
Okay, you want to fire it up?
As you can see, the gaze of the male character was meant to sexualize the female character as he looked from the top to the bottom of her body.
Male narrative versus female narrative.
The male narrative. Most Hollywood film producers and scriptwriters are male. The problem with this is that the women portrayed in Hollywood films are created by men, and this is the reason for the misrepresentation and stereotypes portrayed in films.
Female narrative is when the female role is assigned or created by a female, and this allows for more accurate representation in terms of women, but often allows room for misrepresentation for men.
This is no man's land, Diana. It means no man can cross it, all right? This battalion has been here for nearly a year, and they barely gained an inch. All right, because on the other side, there are a bunch of Germans pointing machine guns at every square inch of this place. This is not something you can cross. It's not possible.
So what? So we do nothing?
No, we are doing something. We are. We can't save everyone in this war. This is not what we came here to do.
No. But it's what I'm going to do.
This idea of female narrative is seen through the movie Wonder Woman, directed by Patty Jenkins. Within this scene, Wonder Woman is doubted due to the difficult circumstance within the historical no man's land. Despite the petrifying nature of this area, Wonder Woman was able to conquer this area with no fear or harm due to the characterization given by the female director, Patty Jenkins. Female subjectivity. Female subjectivity is a term used in films when the female character is portrayed as a minority or someone with less power compared to the male. This is brought up due to the characteristics of male narrative, and is still an issue brought to the eyes of viewers today.
Female subjectivity is a term used in films when the female character is portrayed as a minority or someone with less power compared to the male. This is brought up due to the characteristic of male narrative. and is still an issue brought to the eyes of viewers today. An example of female subjectivity is seen in Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather.
Come on now, kill me. Be a murderer like your father. Come on, all you Corleones are murderers anyway. Come on, you. Come on, kill me. Get out of here. Get out of here. I hate you. Now, go ahead. Now I'll kill you. You guinea brat, you. Get out of here.
As seen in The Godfather, Coppola made Connie appear weak and defenseless against Carlo as he abused her. And here we see female subjectivity in this clip play its role by portraying the female being very submissive to the male as the female is being abused. Laura Mulvey is a British feminist film theorist. One of her famous works include Visual Pleasure and Narrative Cinema, which was published in 1975. Mulvey was interested in the relationship between the screen and the spectator. She suggested that films operated through codes and conventions, and that the point of view is constructed through a male lens, and that women are objectified through that lens. Therefore, the spectator identifies with the male protagonist. This process that Mulvey describes is a process known as scopophilia, which is also known as the pleasure in viewing.